Hi, this is Trey Pastor. This is going to be my spoilers review of Marvel's Infinity War. I was going to do this one with my brother, but I'm waiting for him to come, so I'll just upload. This is going to be just me by myself, and if he comes, then we'll do one with me and him together. Okay? But anyway, this is going to be spoilers review, so if you haven't seen the movie, you can turn away because this is going to have spoilers in it, and I already uploaded by the time you see this, I already uploaded my spoiler-free review. Okay, so you can watch that if you don't want to be spoiled. But anyway, here we go. This one, of course, is Thanos, looking for the 6 Infinity Stones. And again, I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. I loved it a lot, and a lot of things surprised me in it. I made a prediction video about what I thought was going to happen, who was going to die and stuff. And of course, I was right about certain characters. I thought Cap was going to die for the emotional punch, but he didn't die. Okay, I thought Loki was going to die. He did die. Okay, Thanos killed him. And Helmut died. I didn't have him in the. I forgot that he was on that ship in Thor Ragnarok, and he died. But before he transported Hulk. After the Hulk got his behind cave, whipped by Thanos, uh, and changed back into Bruce Banner. Helm in his final act of before he died, he whisked the Hulk or Bruce Banner back to Earth to warn everybody that Thanos is coming. Okay, and Helmut died, so no more Idris Elba. Even though I think if they bring the movies back, well, in the fourth movie, well, I'll talk about that later, but I don't think his character is coming back. Him or Loki's character, I don't necessarily think so, even though they're God, technically, and there's probably a way to get around that, but for some reason, I don't think those two characters are coming back. But anyway, Thanos, again, his goal was to get the gems, and he was ruthless. And what I really liked about it, again, Zoe Saldana, I forgot, I don't know, when I was making my prediction thing, I totally spaced out about her being his adopted daughter. And of course, he would come for her, okay? And it was a really good moment, really good, some good acting moments in this from Zoe Saldana as, Thanos' adopted daughter. And they even showed how he adopted her by wiping out her people and basically adopting her. And they actually showed that. And I like the young actress that played the young Gamora. And of course, he needed her when he was getting the Soul Stone. I'm gonna probably be all over the place with my stuff with this review, but I just wanted to hit the important points that I really enjoyed a lot. And Zoe Saldana, I thought her character, her emotions and stuff in dealing with Thanos. Of course, she hated him, but also at the same time, you could tell that she was conflicted about it because he wiped out her people and basically raised her, and Thanos actually had real feelings for her. Okay, and when he was getting the Soul Stone, when he went to the planet to get the Soul Stone with her, he basically kidnapped her and took her from the guard, took her and went with her to that planet to get the Soul Stone. And believe it or not, the Red Skull was there. At first, my brother told me that when I was with. He said, "Is that the Red Skull?" I said, "No, that can't be." I thought it was Death or something. But then I watched other people. And they said, "No, that was the Red Skull." So I'll watch it the next time I see the movie and look, because it did look like the Red Skull. But I said, "No, that's not Red Skull. I mean, that's Death." But it is the Red Skull. And anyway, he basically told Thanos to get the Soul Stone. You're gonna have to kill someone you have to sacrifice someone you love, right? And then and this this part kind of it made sense if you look back at it when Gamora was telling Peter Quill, Star Lord, she said, "Listen, if Thanos comes for me, kill me. I want you to kill me." And now that made sense because Thanos had to kill someone he loved. Okay, and of course he tried to do it, but of course Thanos basically turned the gun into bubbles when he tried to fire it at Gamora. He turned it into bubbles and told Peter Quill and Star Lord he liked them, and then took off, vanished with Gamora to get the Soul Stone. And so that's why you knew, okay, that's why she wanted him to kill her, because she knew that to get that Soul Stone, Thanos had to kill something he loved. But see that made sense. But then when she was at they were on the planet, and then she was kind of ranting at him, Thanos saying, your plans are gonna fail. I've been waiting forever to see you fail. And you see Thanos cry, then you see Thanos, she's like ranting at his back, and then he turns around and you see that he's crying. Okay, and then it's like almost like a light bulb went off in her head. She said, "Oh, wait a minute, you don't really love me," but Thanos actually did love her, and so of course threw her off the thing, and then that's how he got the Soul Stone. Okay, and I liked Gamora, even though the logic that didn't make no sense to me. With her, that's the reason she told Peter Quill to kill her, because she didn't want Thanos to get the Soul Stone. But then when she was on the planet, she was ranting at him, saying that you're gonna fail, and then that you don't. And then when she sees these crying, she goes, "Wait, you don't really love me." So see, that was just sort of weird the way that happened. But again, I thought Zoe Saldana did a really good job of selling that, and I thought Josh Brolin did a good job of selling Thanos. Thanos was more than just a one-note villain. He actually did love Gamora. Okay, you could actually tell, even though the circumstances of him adopting her were horrific, but he actually did love her. And so that again, I like Josh Brolin. I thought his villain had purpose. Okay, and he had a purpose, and he's gonna rewrite the universe. Okay, and that was his goal, and he was not gonna be deterred. Okay, and of course there was 2 stones on Earth. Okay, the Vision had one, and of course Doctor Strange had the time one, and so of course Thanos sent his Black Order there to get those, and of course the Avengers had to fight them off. Now the Black Order was okay. I think I forgot the head guy that captured Doctor Strange. He was an okay villain, even though he didn't last as long as I thought he would. I thought he was going to last a little bit to the end, but he actually, the Avengers managed to shoot him into space and get rid of him. Okay, the other Black Order people, I think it was a couple. The Avengers, when they came after Vision and Wanda when they were in Scotland, and then of course they were battling them and killing them off, and then of course Captain America and Scarlet Witch and not Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow and Falcon showed up and of course defeated them, and then they left. Okay, and okay, like I said, Captain America, that again, he wasn't in the movie as much as I thought he was going to be. Captain America, I mean, I think actually Iron Man and them had more scenes than him. I think Cap and Scarlet Witch and Falcon, and they didn't have as many scenes as I thought. They weren't in the movie as much as I thought they were going to be. Now, like I said, Thor had a good amount of screen time, and Thor had like a purpose. Like in the beginning, of course, they showed you the aftermath of Thanos' ship attacking them, and Loki dying, and Helmut dying, and Thor being basically thrown into space. Right? I think he blew up the ship. Excuse me, he blew up the ship. That's what they did. He blew up the ship with them on it, and then the Guardians found them, dragged. And then what happened was, after Thor was explaining to the Guardians what happened, of course, Thor took Rocket Raccoon and Groot with him they were leaving to find a weapon, so Thor, get the Storm Killer, or I forgot the name of it, but they had to get a weapon. They had to go to this place to get a weapon, and they sent the other Guardians to try to intercept Thanos and stop him. Okay, and again, Thor, I loved his interactions with Rocket Raccoon. I thought they were an hilarious team, and again, Chris Hemsworth brings the humor and the action, and I thought he was really good in this movie. He had some great scenes in this movie, and of course, we have the guy from Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage. He was in there as a giant dwarf, okay, on that planet that Thor had to get the weapon from. Okay, and again, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, they were together on the ship, and they were basically they were they had to go rescue Doctor Strange. They basically jumped on the ship, Spider-Man and Iron Man, to rescue Doctor Strange, who got captured by the head Black Order guy to get the Time Stone from him, and they wound up killing that guy and staying on the ship. And then of course, instead of going back, Tony Stark said, "Why not take the fight to him? Okay, why not go back? Now he doesn't know we're coming, so let's prepare for him." And that's basically what they did. And their plan almost worked, except for when Star-Lord found out that Gamora had been killed, been sacrificed, so he'd get the the Soul Stone, and he flipped out when they almost had the gauntlet off. And Star-Lord flipped out and started punching him and threw off what's her name? I can't remember her name. The chick from the Guardians I forgot, Mantis, who was on when they attacked Thanos and Mass, and they had him on the ropes, and she had jumped on top of him. She was confusing his mind and they almost had the glove off. Spider-Man almost had the glove off, and then when Thanos found, and when Starlord found out that Gamora got killed, he flipped out and started attacking him, and then that foiled the plan, and basically, they got their asses handed to them. And I thought from it he actually, he stabbed Iron Man through and through, and I thought he's gonna ready to kill him. And you get that line that you see in the trailer where he goes, "I hope they remember you," and he's getting ready to kill him, and then Doctor Strange, because this is funny because Doctor Strange early in the movie had told Iron Man, Tony Stark, that if it comes down to you or Spider-Man, I'll sacrifice you to prevent, to save the universe. But then it came to it, and he didn't. He gave him the time stone. Okay, but I think Doctor Strange has a plan because the way he said it, he said this, like it had to be done or something. So I think in the next movie he'll explain it, like maybe because remember there was this part in the movie where he goes and he says he's seen all the millions of possibilities, and they said, and he had Iron Man and Tony Stark asked him, is it in one of them do we win in one? And he said, yeah, only in one. Okay, and I think that's why he was willing to give up the time stone so he would kill Iron Man, because he's seen that one scenario that Thanos gets defeated. Okay, so that's why I think he gave up the time stone, and then Thanos had it, and once he had it, he was coming for the Vision Stone, and he came on Earth, and that's when you had the Wakanda battle and stuff. And that battle was, like I said, you've seen some of it in the trailers and stuff, but it was impressive. I liked the battle that had all the people there, but there was one thing that I really kind of irritated me, that the Hulk would come out. Okay, there was a funny scene in New York where actually when the Hulk is trying to, he goes to warn Tony and Doctor Strange about Thanos coming, and he tries to Hulk out. When the Black Order's there, he tries to Hulk out, but he can't quite do it. He said the Hulk won't come out. And then later in the movie, when they're in the battle scene, he's in the Hulk armor, okay, and he's getting attacked, and he tries to Hulk out again, and the Hulk won't come out. And which I kind of thought was kind of lame, because you see, unless this was for Part 4, when you see the trailer, I think especially the first trailer for Infinity War, where you see Wakanda the people running, Avengers running in Wakanda, and you see the Hulk in the background as the Hulk. So I don't know if that's going to be maybe that's going to be in the fourth movie, and they just put it in this clip, for which never made sense to me. But maybe that's just, or maybe they just did that to throw you off, that that the Hulk wasn't going to be in this movie that much, except for in the beginning, where basically he takes, because it's a really good funny scene in the beginning, because Loki hands him, gets ready to hand him the Tesseract, and he says, "We have a Hulk," and the same line that Tony Stark used on Loki, saying that we have a Hulk, and he used it on Thanos, saying we have a Hulk, and then the Hulk attacks Thanos, and he's beating the crap out of him for a minute until Thanos just reasserts himself and basically beats the living crap out of the Hulk, and then ever since then, the Hulk, it looked like the Hulk was scared to come out, because I guess the implication is that the Hulk never got beaten that bad before, so maybe that's why he wouldn't come out, which I didn't really care for, because I thought for a minute when he was in the Hulk armor and all the aliens piled on him that he was gonna bust out of the Hulk armor as the Hulk. I thought that would have been a cool moment, and maybe that may happen yet in the next movie. Anyway, like I said, Thanos was a good villain. Again, Josh Brolin, I think did a really good job. Like I said, he explains, his motivation about how, he even, there's a moment when he's talking to Gamora, and he tells her how her planet was dying, and there was too many people, people with too little resources, and he said, we did you a favor when we wiped out half the planet, and now it's a thriving thing. So his basic whole thing, he's basically trying to rewrite the universe, because he thinks, at least his motivation in this movie, is that the universe is too overly populated, too many people, or too few resources. So if he snaps his finger and wipes out the universe, half the universe, everything will be perfect. Okay, so that's his primary motivation, and that's his goal, and he goes about it, like I said, with efficiency. And I like the fight with Thanos and Iron Man and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and then the Guardians and Star-Lord and Mantis, and I thought that fight was really good. I like that. The only, like I say, I didn't like, but again, I guess in the next movie they'll come together. I didn't like that, because there's a moment where when after Bruce Banner tells Tony Stark about Thanos is coming, that that we need that we need and he when he has to call, he's going ready to call Cap, and remember the Hulk wasn't around for Civil War, so he doesn't know everything that's going on because they're trying to contact the Vision because Thanos is coming for that stone. So he said Cap would know where he is, but he's getting ready to call him, but then that's when all hell breaks loose and he drops the phone. But later, of course, Bruce Banner does call Captain America, and they reunite and stuff, and they go to Wakanda to get ready for the battle that's coming. And we got to see Sherry in this movie, which was good. I always liked that character from Black Panther. And again, Thanos was a great villain. I loved him. I loved this character a lot. Okay, and again, towards the end of the movie, okay, like I said, my predictions, I thought, like I said, I even predicted Hawkeye would die. Hawkeye wasn't even in the movie, okay, which is really, I think they explained it that after the Civil War events, that Hawkeye took his family and went off the grid or something like that. So no Hawkeye at all in this movie. So I'm assuming he's going to be in the next movie. But that's just. But anyway, according to deaths, it was Helmdet, Loki, Gamora. I thought Nebula was going to die, but she didn't die. And so those were the deaths that happened before Thanos snapped his fingers. And once Thor got the storm, I forgot to call it the hammer. It's the storm hammer or whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it. But once Thor got that and he came to Earth and he was kicking ass. He was kicking ass on the battlefield, basically wiping out all those aliens and stuff. And he made a promise to Thanos in the beginning of the movie. He said, "I'm going to kill you." And sure enough, he stabs Thanos. He stabs him right through the chest with the hammer. He plunges right through his chest. But unfortunately, Thanos said, "You should have aimed for the head." And Thanos is able to snap his finger, and which I didn't think was going to happen in the movie, but he did. He did manage to do it, and of course, change reality. Okay, what happened? Okay, when he came for the Visions, Stone, and Vision had convinced Wanda after much pleading that you have to destroy the stone, which is in fact it's going to kill Vision. But she said he told her, listen, you have to do it because we can't let Thanos get the sixth one and kill millions of people, billions of people. You have to do it. And she reluctantly she was doing it, and she actually did it. And she was holding back Thanos with one thing, and then she actually destroyed it. But then Thanos, he had the time thing, so he went right back and basically reformed Vision. He sped time back a little bit, and before she saw it, and he got that stone, and of course, ripped it right out of his head, and so he got all 6 stones, and that's when I said Thor, stabbed him with the thunder hammer, whatever it is. I forgot the damn name of it, but he stabbed him right through and through with it, and he thought that was going to be it, but then Thanos said, yeah, you should have aimed for the head, and Thanos managed to snap his finger, and once he snapped his fingers, things started changing, and people started disappearing. Okay, half the people started disappearing. Okay, and as far as the people disappearing, you had Bucky went first. I think Bucky went first. Okay, and then who else went? Bucky, and then hold on for a minute. I'm trying to think in Wakanda who went first. Bucky went first. Okay, Scarlet Witch went. Okay, Bucky, Scarlet Witch. Who else? Oh yeah, and Falcon went. Bucky, Scarlet Witch, and Falcon. And then the real surprise that went for me, it was Black Panther. Black Panther went away too, which I didn't think was going to happen. He basically faded into nothingness too. Okay, and then of course on Titan, the Mantis, Drax, Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and then even Spider-Man went, which really surprised me. Spider-Man went, and his scene when he was telling Mr. Stark, I feel funny, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go, and then he just fades away, and all was left was Nebula and Iron Man and Tony Stark on that plane, and they were left. And like I said, when the movie theater I was at, people were like shook because I didn't, I didn't think that was going to happen, but all these people disappeared. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, and Doctor Strange went too. Doctor Strange vanished too. So that stunned me. That all these people just faded into nothing. But like I say, he snapped his finger, and half the universe literally disappeared. And then later, you see in the after credit scene, I think it's in New York, where you see not Iron Man, you see uh, Nick Fury and Maria Hill. They're driving, and then all of a sudden you see, because I think they see the spaceships, and then they stop the car, and then all of a sudden you see, you know, Maria Hill starts to vanish. She vanishes right in front of Nick Fury, and then he gets on his communicator trying to like send a call to somewhere, and then he starts to disappear, and he gives up mother before he vanishes, and then you see the image on his communicator there, and it's the image of Captain Marvel there. So of course she's gonna assuming she's gonna be in the next movie. Okay, and uh that really that movie was really emotional. Like I said, when Gamora died, that was really emotional to me. When Loki died, I was even sad when Helmut died too. But I knew he was gonna die once he transported the Hulk, and and Thanos stood over us. Said, "That's it. He's dying." And sure enough, he stabbed him. So those were the deaths, pre Thanos snapping the fingers. Uh, and then I thought Nebula was going to bite too for a minute. And he was torturing the crap out of her to get get to Gamora. But like I said, this movie was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a tremendous amount. This is one of the best movies of the year by far. Like I said, my only gripe was I think Captain America and I guess and not Scarlet, it was Captain America and Bucky and they wasn't in the movie as much as I wanted them to be. I wanted them to be in the movie more, but I guess that will be rectified in the next movie because they're the only ones left really, not Bucky, but uh, Captain America, Black Panther's bodyguard, she's still alive, and his sister. I'm assuming they didn't show his sister fade away, so I'm assuming she's still alive. And you got Iron Man, uh, Black Widow, and I think the Hulk is still alive. Yeah, the Hulk, Bruce Banner is still. I think who else is, and Spider-Man's gone. So you have very few Avengers left. Oh, and Rocket Raccoon. Okay, I'm sorry, Groot died too. Groot faded away too. So only Rocket Raccoon is still alive too. So you just have a few people that's alive. He literally wiped that universe because you saw when they was on the street driving, Nick Fury and people just started disappearing. Okay, okay. So basically half the universe is dead. And then you see a shot of Thanos. It looks like he's at peace because he's fulfilled his thing. Because I think he even says in the movie earlier that once he's reshaped the universe, he just wants to sit back and relax, and you see him do that literally at the end of the movie. Okay, so again, I enjoyed this movie a lot. Okay, me and my brother saw it. Again, the movie kept me interested a lot. The movie was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and again, I don't want to knock DC, but again, this movie was an event, and it made it be a cosmic thing. Okay, you had a real feel that the Earth was in danger, the universe was in danger from Thanos. Okay, a feeling that you didn't get from that butchered movie Justice League that the execs butchered. You didn't get that feeling that the world was at risk. This movie, you got that feeling, not only the Earth, but the whole universe from Thanos. And literally, you saw it happen when he with a snap of his fingers, which they did do, and he wiped out half the universe. And now we have to see. Obviously, Captain Marvel's going to be in the next movie if she didn't get wiped out, which I'm assuming she didn't. And I know when we did our hangout, with a couple of fellow YouTubers a little while ago, and we were talking about maybe Adam Warlock being, but I think one of the YouTubers said that James Gunn, who's going to obviously direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3, said that Adam Warlock is not going to be in these Avengers movies, which I think is a mistake, because I think in the comics, if I remember right, he is in the Infinity story. So I don't know why they would keep him out unless that was maybe that's just him misdirecting, and maybe Adam Warlock will be in this movie, in the next Avengers 4, which I'm looking forward to. And of course, Captain Marvel, the next movie, I think comes out next March. So we'll see. And I'm assuming that something happens to Captain Marvel that makes her, because I think it's supposed to take place in the 90s. So unless they do some kind of, maybe when she gets her powers, it doesn't age her that much, because if she's going to be in the 90s, then all the way to the the present time, and she's probably not going to age I forgot the actress who was playing Miss Captain Marvel, but they're not gonna age. Obviously, they're gonna age her. So either she walks away or something, or when she gets her powers, that probably slows her aging process down, so she doesn't age. But anyway, I enjoyed this movie a lot. Again, hats off to Marvel again for this is the culmination of 10 years of work, and it's to me it's absolutely, with a few nitpicks here and there, a fantastic movie. Loved all the performances, loved the characters. Sure, I wanted more characters, certain other characters to have more screen time. Like I said, I want Cap to be in this movie a little bit more, but you know you have to take it for what it is. But hopefully, like I say, he'll be in the next movie more obviously since the only ones really left him and Scarlet, him and not Scarlet Witch, him, Rhodey, uh, Black Widow, the Hulk, and obviously Iron Man, who's on Titan currently, which will probably wing his way to Earth, and then you'll see them reconcile. And I really thought that he was going to kill off. That's why I say Kevin Feige and them really surprised me, because I really thought they were going to. I thought they were going to kill one of the big three: Captain America, Iron Man, or Thor, but they didn't. Okay, and then there was a moment Iron Man got stabbed through and through, and I thought, oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Looks like Thanos was gonna punch his head off until Doctor Strange, stopped him. Tell him that he give him the stone, and which I still think is a ploy to actually Doctor Strange has a plan, even though he faded away. I think he has a plan. I think he saw that possibility that he told Iron Man about. There's a scenario that where Thanos loses, and I think that was part of his strategy, even though that's given him the stone. It's part of his plan to defeat Thanos. Okay, and I'll stick to that until I see the fourth movie. Anyway, let me know what you think of Avengers: Infinity War. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. Again, let me know what you think. Again, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. Sure, it had a few flaws here and there, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the best, I think, superhero movies of all time. I think it's just really great. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but I thought, to me, it had Thanos was a really good villain, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And again, the ending when everybody started fading away, that stunned me. I didn't think they would do the snap, even though that's in the comics. I thought they would go a different way, but they did, and it was effective. When you saw these certain characters fade away, you said, "Oh my God, Spider-Man faded," but when Black Panther faded away, that really stunned me. Okay, and then Scarlet Witch, I said, "Oh man, that just." And Bucky, and then of course, Vision died, got his stone, the stone really ripped out of his head. And then when Spider-Man, then basically the Guardians are, I think all of the Guardians are dead, except Rocket Raccoon. I think he's the only one left because Star-Lord died, he faded away. So Drax and Mantis, Gamora got killed by Thanos. Yeah, the only one left is Rocket Raccoon. That's the only one left from the Guardians. And I'm sorry, Nebula is still alive, even though technically she's not a Guardian. Okay, but that stunned me. And so you got Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk. I think, and they'll meet up and team up with Iron Man, I think eventually, and they'll reverse it. Just interesting to see how they'll do that. Anyway, let me know what you think of Avengers: Infinity War. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I'll leave a link to my social media in the description box, as well as a link to my other channel, Paul Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. Okay, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you rate Avengers: Infinity War. Feel free to leave comments down below, and let me know if, if things happen in this movie that you didn't think was going to happen. Okay, let me know. Feel free to discuss down below. And this is Trey Passer saying so long and take care.